Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I recently crossed 2100 Rapid Elo and I'm here to share some tips to help you try and do the same. Now, the first tip for you. It sounds like a cop-out, but I mention it all the time. Have fun. Ladies and gentlemen, chess is a game. If you're not a professional player, if you don't have aspirations to be a professional player, have fun. You and I are mere mortals in this world of machines. Have fun playing chess. Chess is meant to be there to enjoyed. You can have rating goals, you can want to smash rating goals, that is completely fine. Maybe your goal is not even to be 2100, but you're using this video as a stepping stone to 2200, 2300, 2400, 2500 Rapid Elo. I will say this now for you, have fun doing it. Chess is not an enjoyable experience if you're not having fun playing the game. Now, on to more serious tips. How to be 2100, and the first tip I have for you is to grind. That is why I said it's paramount that you have fun, because you're going to have to grind to get there. In the last year, you can see my stats. Rapid in the last year, I have gained 278 rating points over 600 games. But I only won 52%, 314 wins, 46 draws, and 240 losses. What that means is I'm only winning on average about every second game. So what you have to do is to play a lot of games, and it is going to take you a substantial period of time to get to 2100, depending on where you're starting from. If you're 2000, you get a streak of 10 games, boom, done, you're 2100. If you're 1600, you need to gain 500 rating points. That might be 50, 60 wins. But every time you lose, you're taking a step back. So it is going to take you perhaps 150 games, 200 games and whatnot. You know, it took me 600 games to gain 200 rating points. So 300 games for every 100 rating points. Sounds horrible. But, you know, it gets harder to go on these streaks the higher up the ELO ranking you go. My best streak in the last year was 11 wins, of which I'm pretty sure that was achieved against some lower rated opponents. I don't think I won just... No, actually, when I crossed like 2000, when I went from like 1900 to 2000, I think I got like an 11 game winning streak or something. I played really, really well there. And you'll see my percentages for white and black don't make too much difference. 52% for white, black 52% wins. The draw and the loss change slightly. You can see I lose slightly more with white than with black, like 1% difference. Overall, 52% wins, 600 games. And you'll see sometimes you go on streaks. In the last 7 days, for example, I've played 9 games. I won 7. So, you know, 80%. And this is what I'm going to talk about. You go on these, your playing strength fluctuates. Some day you're not having a great day. You're not in the right headspace. You're not thinking properly. You sleepwalk through some of the openings. You get in a worse position. You lose. And we're going to talk about that in later in the video. But some days you have amazing days, and you're going to get a huge streak going. You're going to gain like 50 rating points in no time. Some days you're going to lose 10 or 20 rating points. You're going to have to grind. Chess ebbs and flows. You're never... It's not this. It's not linear up and down. It's these little bumps, hopefully on the way up. You can see, okay, 1 year is a long time, but if I go to all time on my thing, you can see, look at this. It's bumpy. Okay, there's some like flat plateau here where I didn't play anything. But it's bumpy the whole time. Up, down, 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 up, down. But it's always up. In the end, the overall shape is going up. But in these little bits here, it's up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So you do have to grind your way some degree. It is not going to come easily unless you're like a grandmaster on a speed run or an international master on a speed run. Getting to 2100 Rapid Elo is going to take some time and some effort. And look at this, all time 50% wins. Now I'm only losing 42%, 8% draws. So my stats over the last year and over the last all time are pretty similar. And so that is what I'm talking about. Now moving on to point 3. Point 3 is about playing aggressively, but not recklessly. And I say that because I did not want to come on here and tell you give up gambits forever. Please, I never want you to give up gambits. What I do want you to do, and what I want you to expect, is that better players will have seen the gambit before, and they will be prepared. For example, here I've got the tall variation of the Caro-Kann, where black has just played h5. Now that is a move you would expect from a player who has seen the tall variation before and knows now how to counter it. A player who has never seen the tall variation before and knows to just get the bishop out, when they see h4, they may play e6, and now their bishop is trapped. And now you get to win it. All the way. You get to win it. Boom. Easy. You're up a piece. Or maybe perhaps you play the Italian game. And you like to play when they play knight f6 because they're taught knights before bishops. You get to go for this. And now you could expect the Traxler. Maybe they've been taught that. If they haven't, they might play d5. They might find this. And then you take, and then now they're like, oh, I can take back. And they forget that there's this. Now, better players will know knight takes d5 is not a move that you can play, and they will play knight a5. And now again, you have to know the best moves. You cannot sit here and go like, "Aw, I'm so sad. They didn't fall for my trap. Now I don't know what to do. I'm gonna lose the game." No! You can play aggressively. The fried liver is very aggressive. But you gotta know the best moves from here. You've got to play like this check. You've got to retreat, and so forth. You can see I've played, the best move I played here was bishop e5. And this is using opening tree, and this was like when I was 1,000. Here's a game where I was 2007. This was a game I won. Yeah. Takes, and here I played like queen f3. And this is all the best moves. Bishop here, and then like bishop retreats or whatever. Keep the pawn pinned. Bishop e7, and so forth. This is how the game went, and I was probably completely winning. But this is what I'm talking about. You might want to play a Budapest Gambit, or a Benko Gambit, or a England Gambit, or, you know, the Alien Gambit, or whatever. Dracula, the crap. You might want to play some really random Gambit. Oh my word. That's completely fine. If that is your playing style, and it gives you something that you want to play for, and maybe some people still fall for the trap, more than welcome to do so. But you do need to know the best moves to continue the game if they don't fall for it. And if they don't fall for it, are you lost? If you are, then you need to ask yourself, is it really worth still playing that? Can I find another opening that I still enjoy playing, but that at least gives me a playable position? And so now we go back to the screen, and this is now for tip number 4. And tip number 4 is very simple. In fact, I can go into my game history for this, and it's about avoiding tilt. Now, what I do to avoid tilt, and you can apply this to yourself. Maybe you don't want to apply it. I'm going to go rated games, and they're not all recent games. They're going to be live games, and they're going to be rapid games only. What you're going to see, something I do a lot. Now, you can see I was obviously on a really good win streak here, preparing for my latest tournament. So, across 2100, had a great tournament, all in a couple of days. Really, really good time for me on the channel. It probably won't last. Anyway, what you will see here is I don't like to lose 3 games in a row. Generally speaking, oh, here I played a cheater. Ah, cool. Anyway, generally speaking, when I lose 3 games in a row, like here, I stop. So, I lost 2 on January 3rd, and I was like, no, I'm done. I lost 2 games. I'm done for now. I'm going to play something else. Then I lost on January 4th. It's like, okay, I'm done. Played again January 5th, won, lost on January 8th, and then won a couple more on January 8th. So this is all December 30th, and it was just loss. And look at the rating. So I started here 2069. Where did I end? 2037. So I shifted 20 odd rating points in these games because I suffered 5 defeats. And this is all the same day. This is the 30th of December 2025. So you see what happens. And I'm not playing badly here. 70% accuracy. Okay, 61 is quite bad. 82, 62, 63. I'm not playing particularly well. Why did I lose in 15 moves? Oh, I just lost completely. You can see I'm not in a great headspace. So I shouldn't have played 5 games. I should have, after this game, where I lost in 85 moves, been like, okay, that's it. I'm done. I'm not going to play these 2 games. Because then my rating would have still been 2054. And when I come back the next time, my rating is a little bit higher, and then I don't have as far to go to 2100. And so you and I need to take my advice and stop after 3 losses on the bounce. Do not chase that win. You will get it. You will get it. You will never not win another chess game. I promise you, ladies and gentlemen, you don't need to stay up until 3 a.m. grinding chess to just get that win. You can, after 3 losses, just say, I'm done. If you want to go play Bullet or Blitz or go to another website even, it doesn't have to be chess.com, can be Lead Chess, can be the FIDE Arena, can be endgame.ai, can be anything. If you're really obsessed with rating goals and you're chasing rating, and if you're not playing well, generally speaking, after 3 losses, stop. Stop. Tilt is going to get you, and it's going to cost you a lot of elo, and it's going to cost you time, because to get that elo back, it is easier to lose elo. You can lose it much faster than it is to get the elo back. So now we head to the final tip that I have for you, and it's a strange one for rapid chess, but it's about time management. Now, time management is always an interesting topic because it comes up in all forms, whether it's blitz or bullet, even rapid or even classical chess. How do you spend your time effectively? What I have found to be most effective, now bear in mind, I play mostly 10-0. If you play 15 plus 10 or you play 30-0, these points still apply, but obviously they're a little bit different depending on the time control that you choose. You might even play like 10 plus 10 or something, for example. What I find to be very helpful is to try and get a time advantage early on in the opening. Now, how I achieve that is I generally know my openings quite well. And what I do is, if it's something like the London system, I know when the game is going to get complicated, and it's generally once we've developed all our pieces. So I don't need to think very hard, as long as you're making good moves that you know are not making your position worse, and they're not strategically bad. And this is where you've got to know your positions quite well. You need to do some studying up a little bit. Are my pieces on the right squares? They can always be improved later. Try and move quickly in the opening. If you know lots of opening theory, that is going to help you. You can play theoretically dense openings if you've studied them very well. You can play the Benoni. You can play the Spanish. You can play the Sicilian. You can play the Caracan. I will not ban you from any openings. Again, chess is about having fun. Know them quite well so you can make the first few moves quite quickly. Once you begin to forget what the best move is, that's when you start investing your time. Or if you're like, well, I know there's like 4 moves from this position, they're all really, really good, I don't know what to choose. Now you sit back and you think, what am I most comfortable in? And then if you're down on time and you've got a better position, the easiest thing to do is, right, what is a simple move that keeps my advantage, that doesn't blunder anything? Ladies and gentlemen, it is unacceptable to hang queens in 3 seconds. If you're going to make a quick move, that's fine. It best not blunder anything, because you will regret that, and that will cause you to tilt. So, quick, simple moves that maintain advantage. If you're worse, and this comes down to position evaluation, which I'll cover at some point on the channel. If you're worse, then spend as much time as you need, complicate the game, get your opponent in the tank, make things extremely murky. That old saying, take them into a deep dark forest where 1 + 1 is not 2, and, explore whether the option is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, da, 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 da. Take them into a deep dark forest, go for the king, complicate matters. Use your time, because you're worse. You're worse. If you're completely lost, go for the king, invest your time, look at every resource you have. Because flagging at that point doesn't matter, because you're lost on the board. Now, a lot of people say, well, speed up. Maybe your opponent will panic, and they'll play a move and it'll let you in. Perfectly reasonable as well. But speed up, but still go for the king. Speed up, still go for the king. Try and do, I always call it like hustler's chess. See if you can get something from the game. Complicate the game. I suggest you use what time you have available, so that you're thinking clearly, that you're calculating clearly. If you're calculating lines that are just trading into a worse endgame that lose, don't bother with that. Look for the things that complicate the game the most. Hopefully you'll create your opponent into the tank as well, and the two of you get into a dogfight, and maybe you can get away with a draw or even a victory from the clutches of defeat. And so, ladies and gentlemen, those are my 5 tips to help you try and get to 2100. It is to have fun. It is to grind and never stop the grind. It is to be aggressive but not reckless. It is to avoid tilt. And it is about your time management. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found it informative. I hope you find these tips useful and you're going to implement them. If not, let me know in the comments what you would have suggested. Thank you so much, and I will see you again soon.